Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of the Great Millstone, Bashem Rakak Wadash. My name is Yakalba from Plaintables Camp in Philly. Now, you seem to have a gross misunderstanding, or outright, I believe it's not misunderstanding, it's just a lie out there that when a man and woman come together in the Lord, or under Christianity, under the Bible, certain women believe that you're equal partners with your husband. That is a complete lie. I heard this woman last night say they want a partnership with their husband, and she's going to pretty much vet him for 1 or 2 years. I'm like, well, that's not it. That's nowhere in the scriptures where it says you're an equal partner with your husband. That's not in the Bible. And the term marriage, the legal term in America means you get a license from the government. But we're not even going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the dynamics between a man and a woman. It shouldn't be that long, but we'll see. Have a few, definitions here and some scriptures. Only a few scriptures, though. All right. Again, women or certain women under the impression that when a woman finds a husband, that she's his equal. That's not in the scriptures anywhere. All right. The dynamics between a man and a woman is the husband is the master, the Lord of the whole house. All right. Let's have a few scriptures to explain that. All right. This is only for people that don't know. If you already know, then I'm going to be pretty much telling you nothing. But, you need to refresh your memory at times anyway. All right. Here's an example of the dynamics between the Lord and the disciples. So the head would be Yahushai. This is Matthew 4:19. And he said unto them, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. And they straightway left their nets and followed him. All right. That's the dynamics that the woman has to her husband. All right. The same way you seen here when Yahushua rode up on Andrew and Peter. All right. He said, follow me, or follow after me, or come after me, and I will make you fishers of men. And they straightway left their nets and followed him. All right. First disciples, Matthew 4, 4th chapter. All right. So I guess we'll start off with the notorious 3:16. All right. And you got up here is referring to the sons of the wicked, or children of the wicked toward Israel. All right. So don't get these two confused. The woman is Israel here. All right. Now, this is into the actual women or woman. All right. Eve being the head. All right. Unto the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. We look up in the Hebrew, because the woman last night has said, when you go to the Hebrew and Arabic, something like that, it's like a partnership, roughly paraphrase. I'm like, these women really believe that the Bible teaches that they're equal to men. That's feminism they're injected into. Well, it's just a lie. Let me just say that. It's not that it's feminism. It's a lie. They're lying. So because women are under a curse. Well, we're all under the curse, but the curse is that women are going to rule over men. That's the curse. All right, and you have certain women that are doing, everything in their power to bring that curse into full fruition. All right. Speaking about in Jeremiah, it says a woman shall compass a man. Now you can just look that up on your own. So the point here is desire All right. Which means a longing for, a craving for. All right. And rule over thee or in thee. All right. Ba-ka is in thee. And he shall rule in thee. All right, I think I have these words already up. So we got desire. We got thashawaka. Thashawakwa. So a desire, a longing for, a craving in this respect of a woman for a man. All right. So again, I'm just giving you the information. All right. The scriptures say the woman is supposed to desire the man, especially after pregnancy. All right. For obvious reasons, for provision and comfort. Provision is no resources. All right. We got mashal, which means to have dominion, to reign, to exercise dominion, to have rule. Exercise means to put into action. Dominion, sovereignty or control. All right. And we got rule. That's in the Greek. Let's go back. So that's the Hebrew right there. So we go down to the Greek. You got desire and rule. Desire is apostrophe, which when you desire something, you're focused. All right, let's look up in the Greek. Desire, apostrophe. It says apostrophe when one turns away from all others to one and addresses him. All right. So when you desire something, you focus on this thing. All right, and this respect is referring to the woman desiring her husband. All right. There, and we go back. I think we have another. Where is it at? Apostrophe. Apostrophe is an exclamatory figure of speech. All right, but remember, this word is being applied between a man and a woman. But this is just more of a reference. All right, it says it occurs when a speaker breaks off from addressing the audience, meaning many people, or let's say under the guidance of the parents. All right, and directs speech to a third party, such as an opposing litigant or some other individual. All right, so the point is breaking off from what was before and focusing on an individual. All right, and in the context of the scripture, focusing in on the husband. All right. A desire, a longing, craving, desire. So, and the desire should be to thy husband. All right, desire, and he shall rule over thee. All right. If we got rule in the Greek, yeah, rule. All right. Koriuo. Says to be lord of, to rule, have dominion over of things, forces, to exercise influence upon, to have power over. All right. So the husband's going to have power over the wife and influence upon. All right. And the first thing that a man does when he takes a wife is he privatizes her sexuality. All right. I know that was just blasphemy to some of your women's ears. You privatize a woman's sexuality, meaning her. Now, I'll go back to that word, that apostrophe. All right. Breaks off from the audience or many and focuses in on the individual, on the one man. All right. Meaning leaving her parents, her father and mother, her family that she was under the service of, and focusing in on one individual. All right, so you essentially privatize a woman's sexuality. All right, where was that? That's on the Greek word for rule. Exercise lordship over, meaning put into use. Lordship over the wife, over the woman. All right, so let's read that again, and we'll be done with Genesis 3. All right, so now you have a full understanding of what it means. Genesis 3:16, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply the sorrow of thy conception, and sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire, thy focus, you want to turn from all others and focus, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee, meaning have dominion, influence, and control over you, meaning privatizing your sexuality. All right. So the opposite of privatizing your sexuality would be your sexuality being for the public. All right. That will make you a whore, promiscuous. All right. There's no gray area. All right. Either your sexuality is privatized to your husband, or it's made public. All right. Or actually, you can be, you can not have sex, but then you'd have to cover your body up, because if you don't cover your body up, that means your sexuality is not privatized. It's still for the public. All right. So you got a deep understanding of what that means. All right. Genesis 3:16. So moving on to, I think I have a dictionary definition. I did this lesson very well. First of all, let me go to this first. Equal partnership meaning. This is the legal, more so like a legal definition outside of the scriptures. All right. And this is what certain women tried to convolute this, and then they want the man to pay for everything at the same time. All right. When partners in marriage value equally, all right, they see each other as equals. This is the 50-50 thing. All right. Treat each other with respect. All right. Treating each other with respect has nothing to do with being like equal. Well, if a man has rule over his family, it doesn't mean that they don't respect each other, or he doesn't respect the woman or the children. Let me say that. All right. Treat each other with respect. Consider each other's needs and support one another. All right. So the only thing wrong here is see each other as equals. But yeah, you're going to treat each other with respect when a man has dominion over the family. Consider each other's needs. Yeah, that's given. It's obvious. And support one another. All right. Yeah. That doesn't make you equals because you're doing those things. All right. All right. The only thing is pretty much wrong here. Well, hold on. Equal partners agree on goals together and work as a team to achieve these goals. No. No, that's a no. All right. Equal partners agree. Well, that's true. That the statement is true. All right. Let me just say that. The statement is true. Equal partners do agree on goals and work. But the thing is, a man and his wife are not equal partners. That's my point. All right. So this is what certain women say when they want marriage. This is why you should never get a marriage license, because the government looks at it similarly, especially when it comes to breaking down the finances after you break up. All right. It's a ridiculous contract that you shouldn't enter into. All right. Because it's not actually 50-50. It's more like 70-30, 55-45, and the woman taking the higher part of the finances every time, especially if you have children. So, just don't do it. All right. So that's pretty much what they mean by equal partners. All right. And that's not contained within the Holy Bible. All right. Now we're going to go to another scripture, and then we're going to get another definition. So this is Ephesians 5 and marriage, 5th chapter, a marriage like Mashiach and the church. Wives, submit yourselves to your husbands as it is fit in the Lord. So Colossians 3:18-19 you can also read. Husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them. All right. You try your best to get along. All right. This is Ephesians 5:22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. All right. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as the Lord is the head of the church, and he's the savior of the whole body. All right. So we're supposed to come together and become one flesh. All right. And another thing, the woman is not 50% of the flesh. If I have 3, 4, 5, 10 wives, they'll all become a part of my flesh or the husband's flesh. All right. So if you try to break it down in percentages, you're going to be wrong. It's a 50% because there's no such thing as a 50-50 equal partnership in the Lord. All right. As we're reading. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Mashiach, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Right. Husbands, love your wives, even as Yahushua or Mashiach also loved the church and gave himself for it. All right. So we have to protect our families unto death. All right. And that's how much husbands love their wives. All right. So I didn't read anything about 50% and you get 50% and you make decisions, all the financial decisions, and I take care of the children and vice versa. The husband is the head. He issues out, the commands, the orders, and the governance of the household. It says, all right. What I have here. We got hupatasso. Which word is this? Subject. Be subject. To arrange. These are violent words. When you arrange something, it says to put in a neat, attractive, or required order. Okay, I mean, this goes here, that goes there. All right. To subordinate, to subject, put in subjection, to subject oneself, obey, to submit to one's control, to yield to one's admonition or advice. All right, you correct them like, well, you can't do this, you can't. Like this, things that you can and can't do should be like, woman. If you were in the truth, it shouldn't have to be telling a woman a bunch of stuff if she's in the truth. Now, if she's not in the truth, then it's going to be a lot more difficult. But what we say, women ain't really in the truth because they really don't have to be right now. They're not under any pressure. They still have the government as a crutch and law enforcement, and women are not really going to come into the truth until they have to be. All right, that's one viewpoint anyway. To whom it may apply. All right, or advice, yield to one's admonition or advice. All right, authoritative counsel, because women need guidance and direction, advice, to obey, to be subject to. So do I need to really go into any more of these definitions? Therefore, as the church is subject to Mashiach, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. In everything. Go back to Genesis 3:16. I think I put emphasis on that. All right, he shall rule in you. Ba in ka you. All right. Yah is he. Mashal rule. He rule in you, in the woman. All right. Like a king reigned in Israel, a king reigned in Edom. He shall rule. He rule in you, in the woman. All right. So that was all of my scriptures right there. Where we at? 19 minutes. All right. We got one more definition. All right. I did this lesson a long time ago when I broke this down. Well, I just read it. Family. And we look up family I believe in the Latin, it means a household of slaves. Well, let me get that again. Let me see. The Apostle Realm Lab, he brought that out. I believe he was the first person to bring that out. A long time ago, years ago, like 10 years ago probably. Familia, a household of slaves of a household, domestics, attendant, servant, slave, familia. All right. So if you claim to be in the truth, you Israelite man, where you have a wife and children, these are your subordinates. These are the people that you're responsible for. These are under your orders and commands. All right. You got to guide these people, your wife, and your children. You have to direct them. All right. All right. So there you go. That was the point. Household service. All right. Yeah. So equal partners agree on goals together and work as a team to achieve these goals. No. All right. Where was I at? No. Familia. All right. It says house, family, Greek, patria, clan. Says the Old Testament has no term corresponding exactly to the English family. Let me see something. Hebrew family unit was larger than families today and included some or all of the following: the father or master, the supreme head of the household, his mother, if she was living with him after the death of his father, because men are generally older, but 10, 15 years older than their wives, right? For, a death, he's dead already, or older. His wives and concubines and their children, his children by other women, daughters-in-law and sons-in-law living on the paternal estate, other free Israelites, friends, and relatives, foreigners living under his protection. All right. So, but today, you have modern women. They believe that they're equal. Let me bring it up again. Equal partners agree on goals together and work as a team to achieve goals. They believe in that. All right. I don't need to break that down. That means 50%. 50%, and she gets 50%. All right. That's not biblical. All right. I think I had another definition somewhere. You saw patria, right? In the Greek, patria. This is lineage, a nation, a tribe, progeny, a group of families, all those who in a given people lay claim to a common origin. The 12 tribes of Israel, Jacob divided, family, kindred. All right. Progeny, family, kindreds, lineage. All right, so it's pretty generic, but lineage, kindred, family. All right, that's it there. So let's go back to the definition of family. All right. Again, they're the women and men that believe in the 50-50 thing. They're not really speaking from a biblical standpoint. They're just speaking from a modern, say, Western marriage license legal thing. That's what they're actually talking about. They're not talking about the Bible. All right, because those are two different definitions. Family. This is Zondovan's pictorial. Hold on. What's the name of the cover? Zondovan's Pictorial Bible Dictionary. I bought this as one of the first books I bought. The elder, I believe, recommended this. 2008, 2009, something like that. And I bought that within those first couple of years. All right, so because that's the one that had the ham definition, not the Negroes became the progenitor of the dark races. This is why I originally bought this, because it said that in there just for that one thing. But it has a lot of good information in there. All right, so under protection and male and female slaves, since in primitive times the family assumed many of the responsibilities of modern government. And you have people they convolute the Bible with modern with the government. All right. with the modern government. Like the government regulates marriage licenses now. Back then, the government didn't do that. All right, the family did that. All right, since primitive times, the family assumed many of the responsibilities of modern government, like protection of life and property. Right, you have police running up and down the streets. You know, you don't do anything. Call the police, and then you go get back what was stolen from you. All right. Now you got your family together. You went after that person or group. And then if it got, let's say, if it escalated that, then you would go to the authorities. All right. Large families were necessary. All right. Marriage was arranged not by the young people involved, but by the man or his father and the family of the bride. All right. Because women don't know what the hell they're doing. All right. It says marriage was arranged not by the young people involved, but by the man, all right, or his father, and the family of the bride, for whom a dowry. I'm thinking about Samson saying, "I want that woman to wife." The Philistine, the woman that was not an Israelite, said, "I want her for a wife." All right, for whom a dowry or purchase money was paid to her father. In spite of this commercial aspect of the marriage contract, see now in Hebrew marriages, under Hebrew Israelite marriages, the power of the marriage contract was between the parents and the children being married, not the government. All right. So if I don't think it would happen, but if if a woman that says she's in the truth try to get you under the government, a government contract, like your state or province, wherever you may dwell at, she's not really she's not in the truth. She's faking, because she should understand this. This should be elementary by now, but like the elders say, there's always somebody new, so they might not know. All right. It says, in spite of this commercial aspect, meaning that you're selling your daughter to the husband. All right. And that woman is now under the protection of that man's house now. And he's responsible for that woman and the children that comes out of the woman. All right. The commercial aspect of the marriage contract. Okay. This is between the family. All right, not the authorities, the government. All right, there is evidence that the love of the young people for each other often had an important part in the preliminaries of the marriage. All right, well, I don't know how true that is, but there is evidence. All right, well, there is evidence, okay? Because, there is evidence, all right? It's not the sole purpose of, though. Okay, I can agree with that. Yeah, because I just gave the example of Samson. All right. Then you can also give the example of Isaac and Rebekah. All right. Rebekah never even seen Isaac. All right. So there's a balance we can find there. All right. There's evidence that the love of the young people for each other often had an important part in preliminaries of marriage. All right. Then it gives you that example there. You can look that up. The wife was regarded as the property of the husband. He could divorce her, but she could not divorce him. Not only were polygamy and concubines permitted, but no disgrace was attached to them. Wives, however, usually enjoyed more consideration than concubines. That's most of the time, because a wife is above a concubine. It says within his dominion, there's more, but I'm just reading just the what I have here. Within his own dominion, the authority of the head of family was almost absolute. He could sell his children as slaves and had power to power of life and death over them. To dishonor a parent was a criminal, was a crime punishable by death. He was also the chief religious functionary of the house, offering sacrifices to Yahweh on behalf of his family. All right. So the husband was in charge of the service and how you serve the Lord. All right. I'm gonna tell you what. If they are to learn anything, they're to learn to the husbands at home. All right. So the man was in charge of, say, your religion, whether you go worship. He was the director of that. All right. And how much you need a breakdown on something, you're supposed to go to your husband for. All right, first. All right, so that is the end of the lesson. I proved a point on the dynamics between a man and a woman in marriage. The woman is the servant of the husband, and it's right there. Just to give you the information. And if you claim to be a Hebrew Israelite or a Christian, all right, in the faith, you will believe everything I just read because I pulled it directly out of the scriptures within its proper context as it is written with the meaning of the words. All right, so hope you edified. Shalom to the next lesson.